All right. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Kayla. If you guys aren't familiar with me, I host Kicking Back with Kayla. I do stuff with the Katie and Kayla show. My notifications are blowing up right now. I apologize. But this is my first live video. I'm kind of just doing this to get a better feel of talking off the cuff and just getting more comfortable in front of the camera, this and that. Yeah. So mainly what I'm going to talk about right now is tabling on campus, campaigning on campus, and everything that I do outside of our current podcast. So I work for different conservative groups on campus. So basically, these are like culture groups that want to get as many. My fan is annoying. That want to get as many college students interested in conservative politics as possible. Sorry, 1 second. Yes, but want to get as many conservative students involved in politics as possible, and I work off of that. So this will also take me around the country doing. I suck with words. This will also take me around the country doing conservative kind of, I want to say, conferences. So I'll have like speakers. I saw Donald Trump speak multiple times. I went to the NRA convention and saw that. It was a really great opportunity, and I've been doing this since I was a kid. So it's honestly one of the best things that can possibly happen to a little girl who loves politics like myself. But yeah, I saw Donald Trump speak a couple times. I saw Don Jr. speak, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham. I can't even list all of them because there's just so many. Glenn Beck. I love Glenn Beck. Absolutely adore Glenn Beck. James O'Keefe. That was awesome. So that's mainly what I do outside of the podcast, but I also work a little bit on local campaigns. So while doing that, I have to table on campus, and I have to get my local candidate's name out there. And I live in a college town, so that includes campus. And campus is the major swing vote that I've noticed for these different elections. Like, I go to Texas State University, so the county that it's in is called Hays County, and it's called Purple Haze for a reason. While it's a cool name, it's not good for politics because that means everyone's just constantly going at each other 24/7. And so there are times, especially around election season, I will not get any sleep. During the summer, I used to work at a water park around me, and I used to go to work at 8 a.m., get off of work at 1 a.m. It was about an hour away. So then I would have to, while I was in the car, sleep, and then I would wake up when I get home and finish my politics work and my campaign work, and then go back to work the next day at 8 a.m. So yeah. That was definitely interesting. I wouldn't trade it for the world, though. It's honestly what I live for. But yeah, so I don't know. I've always loved politics since I was a kid. Everyone always asks me how I got into it, and I honestly can't remember a single time when I wasn't involved in politics. My parents like to tell the story of me being a baby and just constantly crying until they turned on Fox News, and then that's the only time I would stop crying. Which I'm like, yay, this is a great story. And they tell it to every single one of the guys I bring home. Thanks. Great. Thanks, parents. But, yeah, no, I literally can't pinpoint an exact time where I was like, you know what, politics is what I want to do. It's just always been that way since I was a baby. But yeah, so I was kind of going off on a tangent about tabling on campus, but I'm kind of scatterbrained all the time. So tabling on campus is one of the most crucial things that any candidate can do for their campaign, because first of all, it's a very easy way to make connections with students. So even if you just go up and shake a student's hand, they just say, oh yeah, I met this political candidate. That was interesting. And it's the easiest way to do mass amounts of people who are more than likely either going to be indifferent or not going to be straight supporters of you. So by doing this, you're getting a lot of independent voters because they're just like, oh yeah, I met him. He seemed like a good guy. And if you ask them for a personal favor, hey, would you mind like just running into LBJ real quick? There's no line. Would you mind just running in and voting for me real quick? A lot of them will be like, yeah, you seem like a good guy. I'll just go do that real quick, run back out. It's not a big deal if it's helping you out. And so that's how you get a lot of independent voters and a lot of voters that wouldn't otherwise be voting. So it's honestly one of the most important things any candidate can do for their campaign. Because college, kind of like I said, college is a very specific demographic. So hosting rallies and hosting like meet and greets are always going to draw you people who more than likely support you and people who are more than likely already going to vote for you because they already like are interested in politics. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going to your meet and greets. Sorry, but it's true. But once you kind of go to the students and go to people who are indifferent about politics, apolitical, don't really care, don't think that their vote matters, and you tell them, no, your vote matters, and it would be a huge favor, and it would be a huge honor if you vote for me. It's just a huge kind of weight off of their shoulders, and they're just like, yeah, I'll go vote for you if like it makes you feel good, no problem. It's honestly one of the best things any candidate can do, and I can't emphasize this enough. But while you're tabling on campus, there's always going to be problems. For example, we have an Antifa chapter in the college town where I live, and so they like to kind of go and cause trouble. We had a riot at Texas State last year. Yeah, I want to say last year, where 4 people were arrested. One of the girls was actually expelled from school because she was crazy. I was there. I was at that riot. It was because some kid was wearing a MAGA hat, and yeah. Also, like, people started coming at me. Someone tried to hit me, etc. Yes. It was a wild experience. This constantly happens almost every year. Something like this happens. I mean, 2 months, not even 2 months, probably a month before that riot, they had tried to ban a conservative chapter on our campus called Turning Point USA. Many of you might have, there's one person online, but okay, might have seen the video of me on Speech on Campus. It went viral for a little while of me just giving a speech saying, like, why are you trying to silence conservative voices on this campus? This is a college environment. Shouldn't we be encouraging more exposure to different ideologies and encouraging debate and just encouraging mental growth with these students? And by trying to ban these conservative voices, not only does it violate the First Amendment, obviously, but also can be a huge kind of deal breaker. For colleges, because you're not encouraging the growth of intellect. You're dissuading it. So you're kind of just going with whatever everybody else thinks, whatever everybody else wants to do. There's no real, hey, you need to expose yourself to other opinions because you need to be able to form arguments against it. And that's honestly one of the things I love the most about my job, is I constantly just get to kind of go out and do all these different things and expose myself to different ideologies and points of view. So yeah, honestly, that's all I really had to talk about. So if you guys are interested more in hearing about my personal experiences tabling on campus, well, if you guys, there's still one person. But I honestly am just doing these. I'm going to start doing these live streams a lot more just so I can get more comfortable in front of the camera, because I do stutter, as you guys can hear. But yeah, so if people want to hear more about this, more about tabling on campus and stuff like that, I recommend searching it by yourself, because it's very interesting, and it's very interesting to see how you do. One of the great examples is Turning Point USA. Everybody has their different opinions on them, but they always do a great job tabling on campus, and on either side of the aisle, you have to be able to agree with that. They do a great job of getting college students interested in what they're talking about. But also, yeah, so if people really want to see more about tabling on campus, I might do a video of like my personal experiences or something. But be sure to check out Kicking Back with Kaela on Thursday, because I'm going to talk about pro-life and pro-abortion standpoints. I'm going to talk about my personal experiences and everything along those lines, and like why I went from being a fairly strong pro-choice person to like extreme pro-life person. Which obviously has its own controversies, but that's what I think and that's what I believe, so deal with it. I'm charming. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream, and I will see you soon. Bye.